Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Beyond the Box Score. I hope your day and week have both been going great so far because we've got a huge one to break down today. This is another episode of Clash of the Titans, where we go through every ranked-on-ranked college football matchup of the week, diving deep into the numbers, the storylines, and of course, the picks that matter. Today's game is an absolute monster. Number 8 Ole Miss hitting the road to take on number 13 Oklahoma in an SEC showdown that could completely shift the playoff picture and shake up the SEC title race. This matchup has everything: offense, defense, coaching, pride, and most importantly, money-making potential. I've got 3 plays for this one: a spread pick, a total pick, and a player prop that I'm really confident in. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Beyond the Box Score, and drop your score predictions below. Who do you think gets it done in this SEC slugfest? Boomer Sooner at home or the visiting Rebels looking to rebound? Let's dive into it. My first official pick in this matchup. We're rolling with Ole Miss on the spread, plus 6.5, which I grabbed at minus 128 on FanDuel, the best number available. As always, make sure you're line shopping, because that half point or small shift in juice can make a massive difference in value over time. Now, let's talk about this number. The actual line for this game sits at 5.5, but I like to buy myself that extra cushion when it makes sense, sacrifice a little bit of juice for better insurance. In a top 15 matchup like this, 6.5 points feels generous, especially considering how explosive Ole Miss's offense is. Yes, this is a tough spot for the Rebels. They're coming off a physical, emotional loss to Georgia in Athens, a high-scoring shootout where they fell short. And now, they have to turn right around and travel again, this time to Norman to face a rested and confident Oklahoma squad. It's not cross-country travel, but it's still a grind. From Mississippi to Georgia to Oklahoma in consecutive weeks is no small task. But the Sooners aren't exactly in a comfort zone either. They're coming off back-to-back road games themselves, including a big bounce-back win over South Carolina after their loss to Texas. Both teams have been on the move, both are battle-tested, and both are desperate to keep their SEC title hopes alive. This game is going to be tight, and that's why Ole Miss plus 6.5 feels like the right side. Oklahoma's defense has been elite, one of the best in the country, but Ole Miss's offense has been just as elite, particularly through the air. Their passing attack ranks among the best in the nation, and they've proven all year that they can score on just about anyone. Even if they don't win outright, their offense is too dangerous to get blown out. On the other hand, Oklahoma's offense, led by quarterback John Mattier, has been solid, especially in the passing game, averaging just under 250 passing yards per contest. However, their rushing offense hasn't been nearly as consistent, which is key here because Ole Miss's weakness defensively is against the run. That mismatch might not matter if Oklahoma can't fully exploit it. Defensively, Ole Miss ranks top 40 in pass defense, which plays directly into Oklahoma's strength, their passing game. That matchup will likely dictate the tempo and tone of this game. If Ole Miss can hold up in coverage the way they've shown all season, it's going to limit Oklahoma's ability to create explosive plays. And when you factor in that Ole Miss is 16th in the nation in points per game, top 20 in yards per play, and protects the football reasonably well, this has all the makings of a one-possession game that goes down to the wire. Statistically, both teams have been strong against the spread. Oklahoma has covered 67% of its games this season and an impressive 86% rate when favored by 6.5 points, their only miss coming in the Texas loss. Ole Miss has covered 57% overall and has hit the plus 6.5 line in every game this year except last week's Georgia matchup. Both teams have consistently played to their numbers, and both only failed in their biggest losses, Oklahoma versus Texas, Ole Miss versus Georgia. So, with everything considered, this looks like a field goal game, and that makes taking the points with the Rebels the play. Now, let's move to the total. My second play is on the under 54.5, which I grabbed at minus 110 on BetMGM. I know that number looks low for two teams with dynamic offenses, but I think we're in for more of a grind-it-out type of game than people expect. Last year, these two combined for just 40 total points in their meeting. Ole Miss won that 126-14. Sure, Oklahoma's offense has improved this season, but both defenses are good enough to keep this from turning into a shootout. The Sooners rank second in the nation in points allowed per game, and their defensive metrics across the board are elite. The only area they don't excel in is forcing turnovers. Ole Miss, meanwhile, brings a top-tier pass defense that will challenge Oklahoma's strength directly. The key question is whether Oklahoma can establish the run. If they can't, it could force Mattier into obvious passing situations against one of the better secondaries he's faced all season. On the other side, Ole Miss has the firepower to score, but this will be the toughest defense they've faced. After putting up 35-plus points against Georgia, it's tough to imagine them matching that again against a defense that's allowing next to nothing through the air. I think this plays out as more of a 27-24 or 28-23 type of game, where both teams find some success but neither breaks loose. The under 54.5 has clear value here, especially given both teams' defensive metrics and recent performance patterns. Before we wrap it up, my third and final play for this matchup is a player prop. Oklahoma quarterback John Mattier under 1.5 passing touchdowns, which I grabbed at minus 105 on BetMGM. Now, I know Mattier has had a strong season overall, but his touchdown numbers through the air just haven't been there. He's gone under this number in 5 of 6 games, which is an 83% hit rate. He's averaging just 1.17 passing touchdowns per game this year, and even though Ole Miss gave up 4 touchdown passes to Georgia last week, that's been the exception rather than the rule. On the season, the Rebels allowed just 1.4 passing touchdowns per game, ranking 68th nationally, which is roughly middle of the pack. Mattier has only thrown multiple touchdown passes once all year, and given how Ole Miss matches up defensively, I don't think this is the spot where he breaks that trend. Oklahoma's best path offensively is to run the ball and let Mattier make plays with his legs rather than force throws against a strong secondary. Between his recent numbers and the matchup itself, the under 1.5 passing touchdowns looks like solid value. To recap, Ole Miss plus 6.5 on the spread, under 54.5 total points, and John Mattier under 1.5 passing touchdowns are the 3 official plays. I expect a tight, physical battle between two top 15 teams fighting to keep their SEC and playoff dreams alive. Oklahoma's defense gives them a slight edge at home, but Ole Miss's offense should keep it close enough to cover. Expect a classic, a tough, strategic, grind-it-out SEC fight. As always, make sure to monitor the line movement throughout the week. I like Ole Miss down to plus 5.5 and the total down to 52, but any lower than that in the value starts to fade. That's all for today's breakdown. Thank you so much for watching Beyond the Box Score. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and drop your score predictions below. I'll be back soon with more ranked matchups and betting breakdowns, but for now, let's lock in these picks, trust the numbers, and let's go make some money.